All right, now, UFC 321, October 25th, Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi. Tom Aspinall will face Ciryl Gane. Aspinall has 15 wins, and all of them are by finish. Gane is the #1 ranked heavyweight.
The heavyweight division has never been louder. Tom Aspinall, the pride of Wigan, England, and the newly crowned undisputed UFC heavyweight champion, is preparing for what many believe could be his defining fight. Standing across from him in October, under the bright lights of Abu Dhabi, is France's most technical big man, Ciryl Gane. But this isn't just a fight for a belt. This is personal. It's about accusations, denial, and pride. It's about who's telling the truth. And it all exploded when Ciryl Gane's head coach, Fernand Lopez, fired back at Aspinall and accused him of outright lying. And when the champ finally responded, he did it with calm, almost dismissive confidence. So today, we're breaking down the drama, the backstory, and the fight that could shape the entire future of the UFC heavyweight division.
Like he didn't put up any resistance in that fight, he lost it really easily. You can't then come back and beat the number 8 or 9 guy and then go straight back to fight John Jones. That's just not how it works, man. You can't be like, oh yeah, I deserve a title shot now. No, you don't. You've had 2 goals, you lost them both.
The rivalry between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane isn't new. In fact, it's been simmering for years. Back when Aspinall was climbing the ranks, he repeatedly called for a fight with Gane. He believed the Frenchman was avoiding him, ducking him, to put it bluntly. Aspinall even went as far as claiming there were multiple opportunities where the fight could have been booked, but Gane's side said no. These weren't casual accusations. In the eyes of fight fans, calling another heavyweight a ducker is a serious charge. And Tom made it clear he wasn't just talking trash. He was painting a picture of Gane as someone unwilling to risk it all against the toughest rising contender in the division. For months, those words floated in the MMA space unanswered. Until now.
You know, I thought they were going to bring Tom Aspinall into the cage. Did you expect that to face off with you?
Yeah, I heard some word before the fight. But yeah, the division now, but you see, it's not easy to manage this division, for real. You have a big level now. This is a new era for the heavyweight division.
Fernand Lopez, Gane's longtime coach, finally broke his silence. His message, enough is enough. According to Lopez, Aspinall is lying. He says Gane never ducked anyone, never turned down fights, and that the accusations are nothing more than noise. And he went further, calling Aspinall's public comments annoying and framing the champion as someone trying to build a false narrative. That's when things really began to heat up. So how did Tom respond? Did he match Lopez with fire? Did he double down on the trash talk? Not at all. Instead, Aspinall's response was almost surgical in its calmness. He brushed off the coach's comments with a simple point. His opinion is irrelevant. To Tom, the back and forth doesn't matter. The interviews, the accusations, the denials, they're all noise compared to the reality of what's coming.
Any tips? Give me some honest advice. Yeah. Give me some advice, man. Give me some advice.
As he put it, we're fighting in October. All of this is irrelevant. Whatever was said before, whatever's being said now, it doesn't matter. We're going to settle this in the cage. This is classic Aspinall. Unlike many fighters who get drawn into heated wars of words, Tom stays measured. He doesn't thrive on chaos outside the octagon. He thrives on pressure inside it. And that brings us to Lopez's biggest claim, that Tom is under the most pressure of his career. According to Fernand Lopez, no fighter in the world will face more pressure than Tom Aspinall on October 25th. Why? Because for over a year, Tom has been branded by fans and media as the real champ. He's been the guy many say John Jones avoided. He's the one carrying the banner of legitimacy, while Jones sits on the sideline. And Lopez is right about one thing. Expectations are massive.
Ciryl tweeted that he thinks you should be careful what you wish for, and he'll see you in Paris. How do you think you match up against Ciryl?
I better be careful, apparently. Yeah. I think I match up pretty well against him. I think I'm equally as fast as him. I move equally as well.
For Aspinall, this fight isn't just about defending a belt. It's about proving the hype is real. It's about validating every word, every interview, every fan claim that he's the king of the division. But Tom doesn't see this pressure as a weakness. In fact, he welcomes it. He explained it best himself. In the gym, some guys are killers. They look unbeatable when the lights are off. But when fight night comes, they crumble. Then there are others, like Aspinall, who aren't always the sharpest in training, but transform under the spotlight. For Tom, the bigger the stage, the better he performs. He called pressure his greatest strength. pointing to his most devastating finishes as proof. And make no mistake, he's finished everyone. Let's talk about why this fight is so fascinating. On one side, you've got Ciryl Gane, a heavyweight unlike any other.
Ciryl, do you feel like because everyone in your division seems to be just talking about John and Tom, that you were being unfairly forgotten as one of the best in the world at your weight?
Yeah, that's okay. I'm okay with this situation. You see, like, for the moment, I'm just focused on Volkov. And after, yeah, we're going to talk maybe if I win this Saturday.
He's 6'5", 247 pounds. He had moves like a middleweight. He bounces on his feet, feints constantly, and throws strikes that don't even look possible for a man his size. His front kick from a sideways stance, his bladed footwork, the way he floats across the cage. These are tools that revolutionized heavyweight striking. Gane has been called the most technical striker in UFC heavyweight history, and it's hard to argue against it. On the other side, you have Tom Aspinall. Fast hands, crisp boxing, knockout power, and elite movement of his own. But where Tom separates himself is in the grappling. A lifelong martial artist who has trained jiu-jitsu since he was 15, Aspinall can submit, wrestle, and dominate on the mat in ways Gane has historically struggled with. This isn't speculation. We've seen it. Against Francis Ngannou, Gane's wrestling defense collapsed.
So me and Ciryl, we've been supposed to fight each other a couple of times before.
Similar age as well, you kind of both come through. Right. Well, he's a tiny bit older than you, isn't
I
it?
think he's a little bit older and he has a couple more, or at least he started his career in the UFC a little bit earlier than I did. I was trying to fight him because he was like kind of just a little bit above me all the time. Fight never materialised. He turned me down a couple of times, to be honest.
Against John Jones, he was submitted in less than 3 minutes. And while Gane is world-class on the field, those holes in his game can't be ignored. For Aspinall, that's the path to victory. Use his speed and striking to set up the takedown, drag Gane into his weakest area, and finish. But there's always a catch. Gane's striking is so clean, so precise, that if Aspinall gets reckless for even a moment, the Frenchman can land something devastating. This fight is pure high-stakes chess. One mistake from either man could end it instantly. So what's really on the line here? For Tom Aspinall, this is about legitimacy. Beating Ciryl Gane would cement him as the true undisputed heavyweight champion.
You know, there's the guys who I've trained with from my experience who in the gym are absolute killers, absolute world beaters, and they'll get in a fight and they'll just freeze up and it doesn't work like it does in the gym. They fight way worse. And there's other guys like myself, anytime there's pressure on me, that's when I've done my most devastating.
The man who cleared out the top contenders and silenced all doubts. It would also keep the narrative alive that John Jones is avoiding him, raising the stakes for a potential super fight down the road. For Ciryl Gane, this is redemption. He's fought for the title before and failed. This fight is his chance to erase the memory of losing to Jones, to prove that he belongs at the very top, and to show the world that he's not the fighter who crumbles under pressure. Whoever wins doesn't just walk away with a belt. They walk away with respect, bragging rights, and momentum that could define the next era of the heavyweight division. What makes this rivalry even more intriguing is the split among fans. Aspinall supporters point to his speed, his finishing ability, and his grappling. They believe he's the most complete heavyweight in the world, and that he'll expose Gane just like Jones did. Gane's fans argue the opposite. They say Tom is underestimating just how dangerous Bon Gamin can be, but he's in rhythm. That Aspinall has never faced a striker this technical, and that the Frenchman's precision will make the difference. The back and forth between camps, the accusations of lying, and the calm dismissal from Aspinall, all of it has created one of the most intense build-ups we've seen in years. This isn't just about skills anymore. It's about pride. So how does this fight actually play out? Stylistically, it might be one of the fastest, most technical heavyweight fights we've ever seen. Both men move like welterweights, both are elusive, and both can end the fight in seconds. But the X factor is the ground game. If Tom Aspinall commits to grappling, his chances skyrocket. Here's the submissions, the wrestling, and the top control to put Gane in serious danger. If he decides to strike with Gane for too long, that's when things get dicey. Because if Gane finds his range, he can pick apart even the most dangerous opponents. In the end, this might come down to who makes the first mistake. And in heavyweight MMA, that mistake can come in the blink of an eye. So, here we are, Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. A fight years in the making, now finally happening in Abu Dhabi. One man looking to defend his crown and validate everything he said. Another looking to redeem himself and silence the accusations, once and for all. The truth is, by the time the cage door closes, none of the interviews or accusations will matter. Just two elite heavyweights, fighting not only for a belt, but for pride, respect, and the right to define the future of the division. But now, I want to hear from you. Who do you think takes it? Does Aspinall's speed in grappling overwhelm Gane, or does the Frenchman's technical striking make the difference? Drop your predictions in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you never miss the latest fight breakdown. Because come October 25th, the heavyweight division is going to change forever.